Good morning and a warm welcome to all my dear students and all our viewers who will be watching this particular video via the Rockville Management College YouTube channel. Today's topic is placement, induction and performance appraisal. So this is for our TTM third semesters. We have already completed the unit 2 section of recruitment and selection. We have completed the last topic we completed was selection methods, and today we are going to start with placement. We are going to understand about induction and also the performance appraisal. So the first topic for the day is placement. So we have already selected people out of the pool of candidates via the recruitment ads, and now straight after the recruitment, straight after people are selected, what happens is we need to place people. So let's go stepwise. So it would be induction after the people are selected to do a particular job. In induction means introduction of new employees to the job and organization. It is the process of receiving and welcoming an employee when he first joins a company and giving him the basic information he needs to settle down quickly and happily at work. So right after people are selected or people are appointed for a particular job, the people who are selected do not go directly into their into their work fields, do not go into directly to their jobs or their workstations directly. What happens is it requires a bit of hand holding. It requires a bit of, there needs to be a bridge where the employee can now connect himself to the organization. So understanding this, almost all the companies, they have induction and orientation programs where the new employees are introduced to the job and the organization. So in the induction program, it could be about the history of the organization, so as it gives the employee a clearer picture of whom he or she is going to be working for, or it's going to develop a sense of belongingness, a sense of pride in many cases. So induction, it's a process of receiving and welcoming an employee. So in this process, there would be someone from the HR team, would be taking care of this induction program. It could be a batch of people who have been recently recruited across various departments. So they could be put together, and a program could be held where they would be welcomed, and they would be given some basic information about the job and what they need, so that they can quickly settle down, they can adapt themselves, accommodate themselves to the working environment of the organization. So induction is straight after people are selected for work. It's a program to welcome the new employees, to make them feel at home, to make them understand what are their basic information they need to know about the organization. So this is induction. So post induction, now in many organizations, what happens is people are trained for their jobs. People are trained to do a particular job, and post training, people are placed according to their skill sets, according to the jobs, according to their qualities. So this is placement. And the third topic that we are going to discuss today is a performance appraisal. So like we have been studying in a chronological manner, people are recruited. There are recruitment ads that are sent out, and people apply for the jobs. They sit for the interviews, written tests, There are numerous methods that we have already discussed. So people, go through the selection process, and once and post the selection process, the candidates are selected to be holding the job position that is vacant. After the candidates are selected, they go through induction process, where they get to know, where they are welcomed, where they get to know about the company's history, where they get to know about basic essential information that they need to know to settle down quickly in the jobs. Post that, they go through trainings for the job roles they are going to perform in near future. Post the training, they are placed according to their qualities, according to their qualifications. Now, this performance appraisal is a systematic evaluation method. So performance appraisal is not a random method, but it's a systematic evaluation methods. It could be the performances could be evaluated quarterly. It could be evaluated on a half-yearly basis, or it could be a yearly performance appraisal, annual performance appraisal. But this method, this method is a systematic method, and it helps to understand the performance of the employee, and it helps to understand the abilities of a person for further growth and development. So we need to understand, it helps to understand how well the employee has performed in his job. So for every job, what happens is, even before the employee begins his work, there's something called goal setting. So even before the performances are evaluated, the employee and the manager, they sit together and they discuss about the objectives that the employee needs to meet during the quarter, let's say during a span of time. So once the objectives are set, the employee now knows what are his targets, what he needs to achieve, and on the basis of the objectives, and the actual performance, the employees, their performances are evaluated. If they have exceeded the objectives, they go into the category of excellent. If they are performing at par with the objectives, then they are good. If they are doing below what the objectives are set, and it requires corrective actions on behalf of the manager, on behalf of the employee, to get the employee back to where the organization wants the employee to be performing. So taking this view into account, so performance appraisal, it helps to understand understand the performance and to understand the abilities of the person for further growth and development. So when we are talking about growth and development, we are talking strictly in terms of how the person can grow in terms of their career, how they can develop themselves so that they can go to the next level. And performance appraisal is generally done in systematic ways, which can be done by, there are various ways in which performance appraisal can be done. It can be done, it is in most cases it's directly done by the line managers that the employee is reporting to. It can be a 360-degree appraisal where the line manager also provides his appraisal along with the employees that are working with him, and the employees who report to the employee directly or indirectly. So we need to understand the objectives of performance appraisal. So to understand performance appraisal, we have to understand what are the objectives of performance appraisal. So it is to maintain records in order to determine compensation packages, wage structures, salary raises, etc. So here the point one, we are strictly talking about the compensation packages and the salaries. So let's say So the yearly raises that an employee gets, or the promotion that the employee is going to receive or not, this is determined by the performance of the employee. So once we have this performance appraisal, this technique in place, it gives the management an idea as to, if we need to improve based on the performances, if the performance packages, if the rewards and recognitions needs to be improved for the employee. So number one objective is it helps to understand, it helps to determine compensation packages and the salaries as well. So let's say if there's an employee who has performed excellently, he has performed above par, so there would be a range, there would be a percentage range increase in his salary. Let's say if a person is performing excellent above the objective set, maybe the person is getting 15% of salary hike. So there could be there could be a good person who are performing at par to the objective, he would receive 7% increase in his hike, and people who are not performing, who are performing below the objectives, maybe they would be receiving a minimal hike of 2%. So what happens is, once we have the performance appraisal in place, it helps the management to categorize the employees according to their performances, and also help the employee to get the rightly deserved performance hike, salary raises. And number two, it helps to identify the strengths and weaknesses of employees to place right men on the right job. So yes, it helps it helps the organization, it helps the manager, it helps the management to understand the strengths and weaknesses of the organization, of the employee. So once the performances are evaluated, are calculated, or are measured in terms of the actuals and the standards that are set, it provides a clearer picture to the management, to the manager, as to how well the employee has done, what are the strengths of the employee, and what are the weaknesses that can be worked upon, and also improve the employee's performance. Number two is to maintain and assess the potential present in a person for further growth. Yeah. The next thing is, it also helps the management to understand the growth possibility of a person. It also helps if there is someone who is very good at man management. Yeah, that is one of important skills of a leader, to be able to work with the employees, to be able to lead a team. So once that quality has been identified, the HR team, in collaboration with the line manager, can assign leadership trainings to that employee, so that the employee can hone the skills, and in future the employee can be a leader in the company, leading a group of people, which in turn serves to be cost effective, which in turn serves to be a great asset for the company itself. The fourth point we have is to provide a feedback to the employee regarding their performances and related status. This is very important for everyone, for all the employee to understand how well they have done and where did they lack. Unless we have this feedback mechanism, the employee is not going to improve, and the organization, if the employees are not improving, the organization becomes stagnant. The organization will in near future will crash down, because the employees do not know where they stand. The fifth point we have is to provide a feedback to employees regarding it serves as a basis for influencing working habits of the employee. Yeah. The last one we have is to review and retain the promotional and other training programs. Yeah. So what it does is, performance appraisal, what it does is, it also helps to assign training programs to the employees, so that if there are weaknesses that are visible, that are loud and visible to the managers. When the performance appraisals are conducted, they can be assigned trainings wherein they can improve upon their weaknesses, convert their weaknesses into strength, and it also serves as a basis for promotion. So people who are performing regularly well, they need to be rewarded. They need to be they need to be recognized for the efforts that they are being put. So one way of recognizing the effort is by providing them promotions to the next level, which will help the organization to retain the employee, because an employee performing at a high level is an asset for the organization, and it is going to help the management to retain the employee and develop a sense of work satisfaction, which in turn is going to benefit the organization in the long run. So this is all about this is all about performance appraisal and what are the objectives of performance appraisal. So what is the relevance in tourism industry? So we need to understand this in terms of tourism industry as well. So even in many industries, in other industries, performance appraisals are conducted. So performance appraisals are conducted basically to understand how well the employee has done. So even in tourism industries also, we need to this concept is the system is already there, which helps the management to reward their employees, train their employees, provide promotions to the employees who have been performing excellently well, and retain the employees. So this is all we have for today. We discussed about what induction is. We discussed about placement, and lastly we discussed about performance appraisals. We do not have the methods of performance appraisals in our syllabus, but we need to understand performance appraisal is a systematic method of understanding or evaluating a person's performance, and to also understand the possibilities of growth and development in a person. The performance appraisals is a very important tool. So it's all a cycle. When we're talking about HRM, it's all a cycle. It started from recruiting an employee, then it moves to selection. Once the person is selected, the person is induced with an induction program in the company. The person goes through a training process before they directly jump into the workplace or into operations. Post that, the employee is evaluated on the basis of how well he or she has performed, and on the basis of the evaluation of their performances, they are provided with improved compensation packages, with improved salaries, pay hikes, promotions, and these are the major objectives of why a performance appraisal is in place in any organization, and also in your tourism industry. Thank you very much. I hope you guys have a good time.